Hi everybody.
Hi Lorraine.
My name is Lorraine Gordon, and I am the founder and the president and the marketing director and the photographer and the editor, and it goes on and on. So Time for Teens, I started essentially to hold a bereavement camp for kids who have had losses, and I didn't want to restrict it to losses of any specific kind. Kids who've had loss of a friend, of a sibling, of a parent, of a grandparent. You know, every loss is very unique to the individual. And a lot of the bereavement camps that are out there are often very specific to certain types of losses. And so I really wanted to open that up. And I really wanted to do something very specific to teenagers. And when I think about that, I thought, you know, if we did a bereavement camp that was specific to teenagers and they had each other, and they all had this similar common thing, you know, going on, that could be a really incredible thing, because I know that would have helped me tremendously. This particular group this year had a connection that was instantaneous. And certainly to the credit of the therapists that I have on board, Jude Trader-Wolf and Nick Wolf. I can't say enough about them. It's a very, like I said, it's a very intense week for everybody, and you really need to know what you're doing, and you need to create a safe environment. And you know, the first thing that Jude said to the kids was, you know, if I have one hope for you guys for this week, it's that you are connecting to one another. You know, other than that, we don't have any expectations, and that is the truth. I've done a lot of bereavement camps in the past as a therapist. There's a lot of pressure sometimes put on kids in not a great way. You know, everybody has to, I've been told as a therapist, everybody has to talk. All the kids have to share. And this is what we're going to talk about today. And I said, oh no, they don't. And we're going to do this very differently, because not everybody's a talker. You know, some kids get everything they need through osmosis, through sitting and listening to other kids' experience. Let's give them those choices. Let's give them those options to, you know, to do the grieving in their own way. But because it's so near and dear to my heart, this organization, it really, really is. And watching these kids from day one, we were only together for 4 days, right? Just 4 days, it wasn't like 4 months. And you know, it definitely didn't feel like we had enough time together, but it felt like the connection that was there amongst everybody, it felt like we were together a lot more than 4 days. And that is absolutely an environment that's created by the therapists and myself and the kids. And it's a very, very emotional week, and the kids are just so amazing. And like I said, it's, you know, it's a topic that's just not a topic that people are comfortable talking about in this country in general. You know, death and dying is not something that people talk about. And you know, today I was at my sister-in-law's baby shower, and we have this, you know, new child coming into the world, and that's exciting, and we celebrate that. And then when someone dies, it's like nobody talks about it. You know, and if you're feeling upset, or you're feeling sad, or you're feeling angry, all of a sudden you're not supposed to show those feelings. You're not supposed to express those things. And this is the one place where it's okay. It's okay if you feel angry today. It's okay if you want to sit over here and not talk today. Because this is what happens when you're going through the grief cycle. I think this would be a good segue to take a look at the film, and then you guys maybe have some questions, and we'll probably look at it again because it's real short. And that's it. Thank you.
Two questions, and somewhat related. The first question is, the purpose of it, is it to basically to capture this last summer's for the kids who were there, so they have it forever and they can remember it, or is it to do outreach to new kids for next year, or to raise money for donors? Because those are really three fundamentally different things, and it's hard to do it all in one short piece. I know something that I was interested in, that I would like to see maybe in a future film, particularly if it's for you know, attracting grants and things like that. You have talked to me, and you mentioned it today, about psychodrama. And I know you as an actress, I know it's an important part of your practice, and how you try to help the kids. And I didn't see it reflected in the film, and I would like to kind of see that played out somehow, so that I can understand how that works.
Yeah. Who don't know, this is our county legislator, Jay Schneiderman, who is an honorary board member. So thank you very much. First and foremost, the entire and absolute purpose of doing this is to help the kids have a creative outlet for healing. That is always going to be my priority, and that is always going to be my focus. What comes out of that is everything that you mentioned. It's obviously a creative piece for the kids within the camp. It's a way for each of them to will get a DVD tonight so that they can take that away with them. It's an experience that that they can say, this is something that I did and be proud of. It's something that we can certainly expand upon, and it's absolutely, obviously, a really great marketing tool because anybody who sees this, if they don't have a glimpse of what it is that we're creating with the kids, I don't know how you couldn't. So it's all of those things. So and the one thing that stands out the most to me about the positive experience of it was just how much the kids were all just willing to jump right in, and sometimes with groups you don't get there, because not everybody wants to go there. But these kids, I think it was like the first day, they were just ready. They were like, let's do this. This is what we're here for. Even more so than last year's camp, I'd say that these kids really did a lot more emotional work. And it's my belief that the more that you can do that in a safe environment, the less that you have to come see a therapist when you're like 30, 40, 50. Really. I really believe that this week is a life-changing experience for these kids, and that's really the environment that we're creating.